Hi, I'm Patu from Free FinCal, and for the last 2 days, we've been talking about market losses. On Monday, we talked about how a 2% fall is a very common event, and yesterday, we talked about how you can lose big money even during a so-called bull market. And at the end of the video, I had said that there's another event that is extremely scary, much more scary than a market crash. At least in the market crash, there is some chance of a recovery. If this happens, we will lose everything. So I had written a post about it. I was referring to a solar storm. So essentially, a storm is something like this that you see here. This is an image from Wikipedia. You can see here that there's a huge flare of light and energy that comes out from the sun. The sun is essentially kept together by the gravity of the gases in the sun and the nuclear fusion, the energy of the nuclear fusion. Of course, there's a very delicate balance, and sometimes things can escape in a very violent way. It's almost like the sun has sneezed, and when the sun sneezes, there's a lot of light and matter and energy that gets hurled away. And in 2012, in July 2012, there was a huge such solar storm, and it missed Earth in just by 9 days. If it had hit Earth, we would have become paralyzed. The problem is that you may have heard in movies, and you may have heard whenever there is a nuclear blast, there is something known as there is an electromagnetic pulse that gets transmitted from the blast, and that pulse basically disables anything electrical or electronic around it. So these kind of pulses will come out during this solar flare. I don't want to use technical terms for it. You can read the literature attached. So these kind of this basically that electromagnetic pulse will disable all equipment, and it's basically like you have a magnet, and that magnet points north. It points north because the Earth has got its own magnetic field, and that's why all compasses point north. But if I take another piece of magnet and bring it near the compass, that the compass will start spinning around because you are disturbing the orientation of the compass. The same thing happens. It's like the sun is hurling huge chunks of magnetic fields or electromagnetic fields at us, and the entire Earth's magnetic field lines will get disrupted. All GPS equipments will not work. All satellites orbiting around us will go away. All the most importantly, all internet will go away. Everything, or the power stations will get disrupted, and it will take years and years for for us to get power. If unless you have power, the internet will not work. And the problem then is there's no money. Most of the money in the world is digital, and most of our net worth is digital. So we can't track our mutual fund holdings, stock holdings, nothing, bank balances, nothing. Everything is gone. It's not. I mean, if it goes for a few days, it's okay. But if in this kind of an event, it will go for decades, for years, and it will take billions and billions of dollars for each country to get back up on its feet, which is basically impossible because there will be no running water. You can't pull out water. There will be no food because telecommunications will be gone. Basically, even if the government wants to spend money, it will not have money. It can't pay anybody to rectify it. Even if the government is able to pay, the workers can't work because there's no food and water. So it's basically catastrophe. That's the problem. People talk about end of the world. You can see how this article starts. If the article starts saying if an asteroid was to knock down Earth, everybody will be talking about it. But this kind of a solar storm is more dangerous because if an asteroid knocks, most of the population will die, and that's that. The rest of the population will have some resources to handle. They can manage. But this kind of situation, nobody will die. Practically nobody will die, but all the resources that we have around us are digital, electronic, electrical. Everything will die. If the resources die, access to resources die, we are essentially dead, but it will be a cruel death. And that is what I was talking about. It's extremely. I mean, there's a Nat Geo documentary called The Mission to the Sun. So what is the way out? So we have a what is this called? I forget this name. Um, there's an observatory which is dedicated to record these events. So that observatory is called Solar Dynamics Observatory, and that observatory has this mission to record to identify such prominent events and to predict them if possible. So we will have some time. We will have about 1 day to maybe 2 days time before those giant magnetic pulses stream towards Earth after such a big sneeze from the sun. So we must during that time all the electrical equipment in the earth must be powered down. So that's the earth. Those magnetic pulses should move, should stop. Only then we can power up the equipment. So we must power down the equipment before it hits us. So we need an early warning system. I think there's some kind of an early warning system in place, but it's more down to luck. So that's why they have a probe called the Parker probe, which is being sent to the sun. It was sent, I think, late 2018. It will take another 6.5 years or so to reach the sun. And as it goes near and near the sun, it will record data. It will help the scientists predict such events. So it's not. There is some hope, but the point is that human life is very fragile. On 1st September 1859, a solar superstorm of the magnitude of the one recorded in July 2012 actually hit Earth. This was months after the Sepoy mutiny was over in India. This was observed by an astronomer called Carrington. It's called the Carrington event, and telegraph lines all over North America and Europe, which was newly laid down, were down for 4 days. People saw those lines suddenly go up in flame because of the sun's electromagnetic field was spiraling around the earth for some time. People could send telegraph messages without any telegraph lines. So and people saw aurorae, that is whenever energetic particles hit the earth, you see all kind of colorful lights in the atmosphere. People were woken up from their sleep thinking it was morning because of those aurorae and so on. You can read about all about that. The links are there in the article, in today's article. But what's the point of saying this? My point is we must recognize we can't take our life for granted. How fragile our existence is, how dependent our existence is on electrical and electronic technology. And we can't simply take it for granted. Every day we wake up, I think we should be thankful for our existence and understand how fragile it all is, and it will just all go down in flames, if not literally, figuratively, at some point. So we have to be careful and plan for it. So that's what I wanted to say in this video. Please let me know your thoughts below and what do you think about all this. I'll catch you again in another video. Bye bye.